Hello and welcome, my snubble wubbles. So sadly, I have to remake this video, even though it's new to you guys, it's old to me. Back to the Rotten Forest. This is the new update in Kingdom Rush Vengeance. We've got these two ghosts. Long ago, we met a strange sorcerer. He asked us for our forces, our armies of undead creatures. He failed once, but he came back and conquered the living realms. There was never the promised retribution. He never listened our claims. But now it's time to receive what is ours. So they're basically saying that he took their powers from them, used them, and now they want their power back. So they're coming after Vesden. All right, that's where Vesden got his power. Very interesting. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and discuss the strategy and everything involved in how to beat this level. Hopefully no lives lost here. It's honestly not that bad once you understand what's going on. One thing that I will say, though, is that you are going to have to go heavy magic. I am a pretty big Mausoleum fan here, which you guys probably know. But don't feel bad about using a lot of magic here because there isn't that many guys that are bad against magic damage. So, use it if you got it, right? I mean, that's the way I like to think about it. So the cool thing about Jack over here, this is, by the way, the hero that I'm going to be using. I used him for all 3 of the levels. By the way, I already beat the 2nd and 3rd level for you guys, but obviously you're going to see this one first.
It's hunting season.
Cool thing about Jack is he does do some magic damage here. These ghosts, by the way, they only can be hurt by magic. All right, only be hurt by magic, or luckily, we're going to get to show you guys these purple blasty beams. So you got some purple blasty beams over here all across the map. Make sure you're using them, man. There's 4 of them here. They're not in perfect spots or anything like that, but they're fairly usable spots, right? So we're going to go for some Bone Flingers in the front. We're going to go for another Mausoleum down here. We're going to upgrade the Bone Flingers just a little bit, but realistically, we want to get our magic up, man. The magic's going to be really important for us, all right? So we're going to use all of our abilities down here. We're going to move Jack back up at the top up here so we can help defend against these ghosts real quick. So there's going to be a lot going on very, very quickly. The first, like, 7 to 8 waves are extremely fast. Back to Kingdom Rush style. I'm loving it, by the way. I feel like the original levels in Kingdom Rush, by the way, are lackluster compared to these new levels, man. These new levels are delicious, all right? Straight up amazing. I love them. So again, use these purple blasts to your advantage if you can. You can use them on the top, you can use them on the bottom, you can use them wherever the heck you want. Jack also, luckily for me, is an instantaneous teleporter, so I can just jump down here and kill that guy. I don't even have to waste my Tesla coil in the back here. But my main goal here right now is actually to get 4 mausoleums up to 4th tier, 3 mausoleums up to 4th tier. 4 pretty soon, actually. But it's because ghosts suck, man. Ghosts are the things that are going to just sneak through your defense all stupidly. They're just going to be like, no, you can't stop me. You can't even hurt me. I'm just going to walk right through your stupid defense, Chris. I know. Stupid ghost, man. You got to deal with in real life, right? All right, we got some werewolves coming in. So werewolves are another new enemy in the game here. They are going to be a somewhat tanky, regenerative enemy for us to deal with here. So I think that's probably the biggest issue for us is the it says it's highly regenerative. But I don't find them to be that regenerative. I mean, they're like okay at regenerating, but they're not crazy. Like I remember the trolls, man. The trolls were absolutely insane. I don't even remember what Kingdom Rush that was, but the trolls, oh my gosh, I remember the trolls. Let's just say that much. All right, let's move Jack to the back here. We're going to use our heroes. We're going to use everything. Just throw it all down. And the next wave's already ready to pop out over here. All right. Good. So, finally, we've got 0 attack damage over here. These are another new enemy, by the way, the Haunted Skeletons. You have to understand how these guys work to understand how to beat them. So the problem with the Haunted Skeleton is that when you kill them, they're going to heal any other skeleton around them. So you're going to see they're going to turn into a kind of highly greenified enemy for a second. And it doesn't have to be that close, just anywhere even remotely near them. And they're just going to get unbelievably tanky, basically, because you just kill them once, next guy heals up, you got to kill that guy, next guy heals up. So it becomes kind of a conundrum, actually, to have to deal with these guys, as ridiculous as it is. But you can make it happen, man. It's not the end of the world here. They're not impossible to kill, and even going full magic, you could still take these guys down. So it shows that they're really not that big of a deal overall, you know? So we got a lot of guys to stun back here. We got our purple blast here as well. Got Jack throwing crap everywhere. Wonderful. Jack's going to have to move back down to the bottom here in just a second, but let's blast some of these guys real quick. Let's go bam, bam, bam. Let's just blast these guys to smithereens real quick. Again, they just heal each other up when you kill them, so it kind of sucks. You think that would do massive damage? It doesn't. It does some. It doesn't do a lot. Here we go, though. This is another new enemy in the game, which is fairly difficult. This is the Bone Carrier. All right. What's the deal with the Bone Carrier over here, man? Holy crap. So he is a fairly tanky mofo. But again, he's very similar to these skeletons. If another skeleton dies near him, he will regenerate. Not all the way, but a decent amount. So we were noticing a lot of regenerative foes for us to deal with today. You got to kill them a certain way or a certain order to make sure that they die. Keeping them separated, not stalling them, not even doing anything to them is actually some of the most efficient ways to deal with them. As you can tell, my 4th year Mausoleum is just slowly taking them down, but taking them down nonetheless. But then you've got haunted skeletons coming in here. They will regenerate these guys. So one way to deal with these guys fairly effectively is to possess them, all right? You can possess them, take them over with the Mausoleum real quick, and then they'll fight each other, they'll kill each other, eventually they'll die. Try and keep them away from the skeletons if at all possible, or at least the skeletons that are going to be dying over here. Whenever you get any sort of bone flingers whatsoever, the best one, by far, is a 4th tier, top path bone flinger all the way up to 3rd tier, man. So sadly my hero just died there, I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about my got milks. I call it the Milky upgrade, alright? Milk 1, Milk 2, Milk 3. We got bone carriers coming out, we got werewolves coming out. Alright, let's make it happen. Alright, so we're going to deal with these guys. These guys do have some magic resistance, though, or some armor, though, so you do have to kill them with magic if possible. There we go. We're to take them over, baby. Send them back in time. And I think my purple blast beams will be back in time for me to kill this guy. No problem here. 1 purple blast beam. Let's get my 2nd purple blast beam ready. You can see how the range here if there's nobody in range. But you can use it up to, I believe, on 3 different enemies here if you want to. So if you just tap it really, really fast, show you exactly when he's in range there for you to use it the most effectively. All right, so we're going to go from my 4th Mausoleum up to 4th tier here. Nope, 3rd Mausoleum up to 4th tier. I need to get 1 more Mausoleum up to 4th tier here before I feel good about myself. All right. So the werewolves are going to sneak through the forest in the middle here. One thing you do have to watch out is the guys on the far left side there, upper left side, are going to either go straight across or cross through the middle of the map. And you don't know unless you look before the waves actually come out here. So we got a big chunk of werewolves here. We're going to soul crush them. We're going to blast him here. Jack's doing his work here. Good. Working wonderfully. And we get our last Mausoleum. All right. One other thing, though, that's kind of important is if you can, get your bone flingers up. It makes things just so much easier because then you don't have to really worry about all these other skeletons. They just get taken care of magically. They just die. It's kind of cool. All right, we're going to throw Jack in the middle here just to kill some ghosts, I guess. But I want my bone flingers up higher. Milky milk. Double milk upgrades. We're going for triple, though. Triple up them milks. Go. My orcs aren't really there for anything special besides just to make sure nobody sneaks through without me knowing about it. You know, by the time I look, hopefully I'm like, oh, okay, let's take care of these guys. Let's get rid of them. So look at this. See this ghost man? Look at that. 8 health. Boop. It's impossible to kill this guy with any regular stuff. Kind of sucks. All right, move Jack back down to the bottom here. Hopefully he'll get to town on these guys. Got a bunch of ghouls popping out. That's wonderful. Exactly what we want to see, man. Got a bunch of money to work with again, and now what we're going to do is, again, we're going to make sure everybody has got a possession. All right, if you don't have possession on all of your mausoleums, you're probably going to run into some issues here. So do that for sure. So I didn't really talk about the roots yet. This is kind of important, by the way. So the roots are all over the screen. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places where there's roots on the map. It's technically only $20 to get rid of the roots. You might be thinking that it's a fantastic idea to just spend the $20 and buy the roots, Chris. I mean, a lot of other times when you have to buy, you know, tower spots, it's $150 or maybe even more. But what you don't realize is the roots are going to regrow back a lot. A lot. So you're really not just spending $20, you're spending much, much more than that. If the roots regrow, your tower is not worthless, but it is going to be less effective overall. So that being said, what you want to do is try to stay away from the root spots if possible. Only build on the root spots if you've got every other tower already used up as much as you want them to be. So we got the possessions here. Hopefully these two guys will just fight each other. And as you can tell, working absolutely wonderful here. One Bone Flinger up to 3rd tier. He's taking down every single one of these skeletons. Exactly what we want to see here, guys. Look at the bottom. Love it, man. 2 Bone Carriers duking it out over there, killing each other. It's my dream come true, man. My dream come true. Stall these guys a little bit. Hopefully we can get a quick bone carrier possession again here. Hopefully. Here we go. Let's blast these guys to finish them off, man. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, we possessed him. He's got 16 health left. I didn't need it, but hey, I'll take it. I will take it. So now we have a lot of money. It's wave 13 currently. What are we going to do with it all? Well, I'm a pretty big fan of Orc Shamans, but I don't like building them right at the beginning of the game. I only like building them near the end of the game, all right? So when you get these guys, they're kind of expensive for what you get, and they're kind of random amounts of damage. What you want to notice here is he's got 38 to 209 damage. That's kind of random. I mean, you could do 38 damage 10 times in a row. Not very likely, but it can happen. But you could also do 209 damage 10 times in a row. So I don't like using them in videos as much because people might say, I followed exactly what you did, Chris, and I still lost the game. You suck at this game. You're cheating. What are you doing? That's not true. I'm not cheating. I promise I'm playing legit. Playing on veteran. Not impossible, but I'm playing pretty good here. But obviously, it's just because of the randomness of the situation. All right, so just bear with me here. Sometimes, and other towers are somewhat random too. Like the Mausoleum's 52 to 78, so it's not 100% the straight every single time. But average it out, it should average out to be roughly the same every single time. And this one will average out way easier to be the same amount compared to this one. You just don't know. All right, so we got a bunch of money again. What are we going to do with it all? So again, if you got triple milks there, you got triple milks here, you're doing pretty good against the skeletons. The next thing is go magic, man. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to go another Orc Shaman. All right, I'm feeling them 4th tier Orc Shamans, just bases. We don't want to go for the extra upgrades beyond that. What you want to start thinking about now, though, is actually starting to get your towers chopped down. We don't want to have to be in roots all day. It might be worth it to spend that $20 at this point on these last few waves. Don't waste it early on, but late in the game, absolutely. No problems there. So we're going to upgrade our orcs just a little bit, just to have them not be terrible. But really, we're going to pay attention. If they ever die, we're going to upgrade them again because they're instantaneously produced. So if you pay attention, you can really make your orcs do even more work than you usually can. So, werewolves and all that crap coming out. Orc Shaman's doing some pretty good amount of damage here, though. Don't feel bad about letting them sneak through, though. I know that I'm kind of trying to keep some of them there, but realistically, that doesn't matter that much. It's more about the skeletons than anything. So I don't want the skeletons to get near the bone carriers. So let's blast those guys. Orcs doing a pretty good job here. This guy's got like 3 health left. Let's move Jack back over there. All right, these werewolves they're not anything to mess around with, man. They're not garbage. All right. So we go. Sadly, my skeletons are on top of the bone carriers right now. Luckily, we actually killed a bone carrier there. That's awesome. That's awesome. This bone carrier is gonna get some health back. It's just part of the game, man. And we're gonna go for another. Let's go for another bone flinger here. I forgot to chop these guys down. What am I doing? That's why I'm losing. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. Block these guys in for a little bit. Looks like the werewolves are going to get taken down. Just make sure everything gets chopped down. That's your major issue right now. Chop them all down. Looks like everybody else is left on the top up here. We're going to actually use our horse to send some of these guys backwards. Let's use this guy, and we're going to see if we can get another mausoleum going, man. If I can get a little bit more damage out of this guy, that'd be wonderful. The final wave is coming up, though. I find wave 14 to be more difficult than the final wave, though. I built a lot of magic all day. Maybe too much. Chop, chop. Chop, 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 chop. Let's test the cool of these guys. Let's keep these guys all occupado here. They do not do grouped damage, by the way. So even though a lot of these bigger guys do group damage, at least as far as I'm aware, they do not. This guy does not do group damage, just regular damage. So popping 100 guys on top of him doesn't really matter. All right, more werewolves popping out. Let's get a slightly better, smidge better defense in the bottom down here. I don't want the werewolves to do anything too crazy. We're going to chop this, chop that. Choppity chop. Use our crystals to our advantage here. Don't feel bad about using crystals, man. Send these guys backwards a quick second here and finish that last one off. We're going to put Jack back on the bottom here, so hopefully we can just pop some random guys down real quick. I'm hoping that the ghouls get popped down to take care of the werewolves. This guy's slowly dying, but he is dying. There he is, last shot on the bone carrier on the top there. He is dead. All right. Good, good. A few more crystals. And I'm going to get my last bone flinger right here, man. And that's going to be the game. 1, 2, 3. Easy as cake here, guys. Battery 10% remaining, man. Oh, my goodness. Now, believe it or not, my first video was actually better than this. I know I didn't know Lives Lost, but I felt like I did a better job my first time around. Sadly, the audio is gone. I can't do anything about it. It's just gone. Audacity deleted it on me. So here we are, guys. We made it again for you. If you did enjoy, make sure you press that like button for me. I'd really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you have not. And hit that little bell button, man. Makes me happy when you guys do that kind of stuff. I was playing on Veteran, by the way, not on Impossible, so I just want to point that out. If you're going for the highest of the higher tier, you might have to be better than me, man. You might have to do a better job. Maybe do a better mix or use some special towers. Maybe even use one of the higher tier heroes or something like that. But nonetheless, thank you for watching and have a super duper delicious